Now, the rest of the story.
Alright, welcome back. Well, we're going to do a field to farm ride along on the 7600 in the Easy Trail. A good bird's eye view. So where we're hauling from is down at my place, and we're actually back in the 40. And to get to this particular 40 acres at my place, you have to drive through what we call the first cow pasture. It is where we typically feed our cows over the winter. You can see the big pile of compost on the right, the sinkhole on your left. The sinkholes really showed up this year. I don't really know how many are in the back field yet, but I know there's a couple back in the far end of the 40. So we get a chance, if we get a chance, we got to go through and fill them up. But it's just been one of those years where we're just not getting a whole lot of time or a lot of chances to get around and do some of this extra stuff. There's a pretty good sized sinkhole to your right, and an even bigger one, probably not bigger, but a big new one that just happened to show up. And for the size of that to show up overnight like it did is pretty significant, that right there. I found that in the middle of the night on the four-wheeler. I was out checking cows, and it was later this fall, so it's pretty well dark out by that point, and I literally just happened to catch it when I was turning around to go back and look at a cow. I caught it with the light on the headlamp on the four-wheeler. It's pretty deep. If I parked the four-wheeler in the bottom of that hole, sitting on the four-wheeler, you wouldn't see my head. So, yeah, that one's going to take a little bit of dirt to fill up. But we lost, basically, you can say we lost the month of September as far as being able to get anything done. Yes, we can go out and play in the rain and the mud, and the problem is that we've done it. It's not really productive. And how good of a job are you really doing at some of that stuff? I mean, slop around the mud trying to fill in sinkholes, it doesn't work out in your favor generally. So we didn't start combining right away the other day because we wanted it to dry out, so we waited a day. And this is the day after that day, and you can see that the field road is still pretty wet, really soft actually. This is all mud. There isn't a rock or anything in it. I really should just go buy a few $1,000s worth of breaker run. And you see right there on the left, you really can't tell from the angle that the camera's on because it's sitting on top of the wagon, but I actually cut some pretty wicked ruts the first two trips I made out of here, and that's why I'm cutting up on this bank here, because the field road is so soft in some of them spots that going downhill, which we are, with the differential lock on and the front wheel, mechanical front wheel drive locked in on the 76, I almost got stuck because the front tires on the wagon quit moving. They sank down and they were literally pushing mud down the driveway. And my mom is in the Bobcat right now. She's digging up gravel and rock and dirt out of that lower pasture behind that little white building. I haven't really had a chance since basically since the whole month of September. But then we had a pretty good 2-inch soaker here that came fairly quick that did a bunch of damage to my nice graded driveway and field road. Speaking of my driveway, right off the bat, as soon as we're coming down here, it's already, you got to really be aware of what gears you're in and what you're doing. Not really something I trust a newbie or a rookie doing. You can see that the rear tires are slipping just a little bit. You got to make sure that the mechanical front wheel drive, the front end is locked in going down this hill, because I was pulling at least 25,000 pounds of corn. At least that's what Ryan was able to tell me with scales that are on that under earth, and that doesn't account for the weight of the wagon. So the tractor does a pretty good job of holding it back, but it's actually the drive lane itself is kind of giving, the gravel, whatever else. So I hit the highway here, and I actually disengaged the front end altogether because the switch has 3 different settings. It has 2-wheel drive, so it's just the rear tires. It has on full time, so the front end never disengages, and then it has the auto setting. In our 7400, plus actually early on with the 76, I always left it in the auto setting. The reason I got away from that is because I don't need it all the time. I don't need it for cutting hay. I don't need it for making hay in general in the summer. And the problem is that when it's in the auto selection, it doesn't disengage until you're going at least 8 miles an hour, over 8 miles an hour. So when you're starting to go down the road like this, your front tires are actually pulling just a little bit more than your rear tires are driving. And maybe it's just me, but it seems like that would cause some excess wear in your front tires. And even though they are Michelin's, I really don't want to see them get worn off anytime soon. And these are supposed to be known really well for their durability. This tractor is earning its keep. Like, honestly, its tractor has no reason to go anywhere anytime soon. This tractor has clocked in a lot of pavement time lately, and it's basically gotten to the point where if I need to go through and put 4 new sets of skins on it in a year or 2 years, that's actually kind of a stretch for how much tread these things have actually lost. Like, these don't look like they're actually losing any tread at all at this point, but it's worth it. I don't really just drive it on the road for nothing. This tractor's actually making some pretty good money here lately. Yeah, we're not using the semi for going between the farms. Somebody asked me here the other day that why we aren't using the truck and trailer. Well, if you guys just saw my driveway, Ryan is pretty confident that he would get stuck trying to get in and out of my place. The field road is incredibly soft. Yes, we can go get a bunch of gravel and yada yada yada, but it just isn't going to work. The commodity trailer hangs lower. It's almost a guarantee that he's going to get hung up because my place is uneven. It's on my buildings are on a hillside, so it's not worth it. With that underfirth cart, and for that reason, even just the Brent cart of my brother's, either or, I can keep up with the combine. The corn down here is running 30 bushels better than last year. It is, well, it's healthily over 200 bushels to the acre, and this is marginal ground. But I'm actually keeping up with the combine really well. I think there's only, if I'm not completely emptying the grain cart out, there's only maybe 100 bushels, if that, left in the cart when I leave. This wagon is loaded full as I can get it. And if you look to your right, there's a tractor out in the field. That is a 7930. For those of you that are longtime viewers of how farms work, back in 2012, we demoed a 7930, basically with duals on it, and we used a chisel plow for a few hours. That is that tractor. Tells you how of a small world this is. My neighbor actually ended up buying that tractor and using it for a TMR feed tractor, and then he uses it for pulling cart and, well, basically everything. And for us, we didn't really feel like that was really what we needed at the time. And a few years later, we ended up getting the 82. A 7930, don't get me wrong. If I was looking for another tractor to accompany the 7600, help the 76 out, I wouldn't be shied away from running a 7930 at all. Fuel usage, I know somebody said that about the 7530s, that they use a crazy amount of fuel. I guess I'm not too worried about fuel consumption, especially when I'm doing this road running jobs, to be completely honest with you. As long as the tractor is earning its keep, it's making money. I buy machinery to use them. I don't buy a piece of machinery just to let it sit in the shed. The 4640 and the 82, honestly, they're just too big for some of the jobs that I want to do. But all right, that's all I got for tonight's video. Take care, take it easy, keep in touch. I'll talk to you guys later.